Alright, so let's talk about Nicki Minaj today. I've always wanted to make a video like this, but for some reason I never did. But yeah, here we are now. I'm gonna give a few reasons why Nicki Minaj can't retire. It might be like 5, 6 reasons, 7, I don't know, we'll see. And reason number 1 is I feel like Nicki Minaj still has that chip on her shoulder. She feels like she has something to prove. Like, Nicki Minaj till this day has no Grammys, which is shocking. Like, she changed the game for female rappers. Nicki Minaj kicked the door open for a new era of female MCs. And before her, the female rap lane was nearly empty. But after her, it went crazy. Like, kind of makes sense why Nicki Minaj be saying, you know, all these bitches is my sons, you know, things of that nature. She didn't just participate in hip hop, she redefined it for women. Like, Nicki has Grammy worthy type of songs, like tracks like Super Bass and Anaconda. Remember when that went viral during that time? That was when Nicki Minaj broke the internet during that time. If you know, you know. If you was around during that time when Anaconda dropped the video and everything, yeah, you know. There was Moment for Life featuring Drake, Roman's Revenge featuring Eminem, you know, Monster, of course, that iconic verse. And she just checks all the boxes for someone to win a Grammy. Big vocals, longevity, mainstream hits, collaborations with industry legends, genre-bending artistry, blending pop, rap, dancehall, etc. Like, Nicki Minaj should have a Grammy. Like, there's no question about it. She's made for that award. But yeah, I'd say that's one reason why Nicki Minaj won't retire yet. She really wants that Grammy. The second reason I'd say is that the industry still needs her. Like, Nicki Minaj writes her own bars. She can dominate in rap, pop. She has that crossover appeal. Like, everyone knows who Nicki Minaj is. She's definitely the blueprint for the newer generation of female artists like the Ice Spice, Doja Cat, Megan, etc. But no one has truly replaced Nicki Minaj. It's going to be hard. And as a matter of fact, I don't think no one can replace Nicki Minaj. She's done too much in terms of consistently dominate, and she's been ahead before all these female artists and stuff. So it's damn near impossible to replace Nicki Minaj. And of course, there's going to be some Cardi B fans saying, well, Cardi can replace Nicki. That's never going to happen. And it's not because I don't like Cardi B or anything like that. It's because with Cardi B not writing her own lyrics, that alone right there just eliminates her. You're not going to pass Nicki Minaj. Say what you want about Nicki. Oh, it's her. She raps about the same stuff, or she has the same flow. She has whatever. At least you know that it's her. It's that she wrote it. And she's never been exposed for reference tracks or anything like that. So yeah, Cardi can't replace Nicki Minaj, and that's just on writing alone. And Cardi B doesn't really have a true passion for hip hop. Does she rap? Of course. Does she have hits and stuff like that? Of course. Yeah, she'll pop her shit and she'll add some lines to her songs and stuff, but she does get help. It's been exposed multiple times, and yeah, that's just her as an artist. But that writing situation, that's a huge thing. If you really want to be that girl in the industry, you want to surpass Nicki, you at least have to write your raps. No matter how you feel about Nicki and how you feel about her bars or whatever the case is, she at least does her thing, and she be going off on features. When you see featuring Nicki Minaj, Nicki be going crazy. Come on now. Reason number 3 why Nicki Minaj can't retire is that I think the Barbs just won't even let her retire, because the Barbs love her so much. Nicki Minaj has done so much for female rappers, the female fans, you know, the fans in general, of course. Like, they're really loyal. Like, most of the female fan base is mostly Barbs. Like, you know, Cardi B is, you know, second when it comes to the biggest female fan base, but Nicki Minaj is obviously number 1. When it comes to the Barbs, they're very loyal, they're very active, loud, they're very supportive of Nicki Minaj no matter what she does. You know, even when Nicki's in the wrong and stuff, you know, they still support Nicki Minaj and stuff. But yeah, they're not gonna let Nicki Minaj just retire like that. They just won't. Even if she has teased retirement before, I believe in 2019, and she recently teased retirement, saying that I believe her album wasn't going to come out anymore, the one that she's about to come out with in March. But yeah, Nicki Minaj is not going to retire. No matter how much times Nicki Minaj says it, she won't retire unless minimum that Grammy, like I said earlier, minimum. but there's other reasons why I feel like she won't retire. Like the Barbs are gonna have her trending like, oh, Nicki Minaj, please come back. And obviously Nicki Minaj loves her fans. She loves to appease her fans and make them happy and stuff. So Nicki would fold and be like, all right, damn, all right, I'm back from retirement, new album coming out, so I can see that happening. Reason number 4, some people would argue that she's having another peak, another prime, because a decade plus later, she's still charting, she's still touring and still selling. Her Pink Friday 2 album debuted at #1, and her world tour became the highest grossing tour by a female rapper in history. Like retiring after having those peak numbers, I don't know if she would want to do that, because Nicki Minaj is very hungry and she's the type to, keep going. Like she loves the game. Like she'll only retire on her own unless she's forced to retire. That's the only way, to be honest. There are some legends that do retire because they're forced to. They're either blackballed or there's something stopping them or something like that, something beyond their control. But yeah, reason number 5 is her influence is too big for her to just stop right now. Like her global fan base literally moves the internet, because remember, prior to the announcement that Nicki Minaj was dropping an album in March, she hasn't said anything in months. She kept it quiet, and her huge fan base noticed that. Of course, they're checking for Nicki Minaj, wondering what's on her mind, what's going on. But when Nicki Minaj goes silent, it speaks volumes. It's like she's communicating with the Barbs without communicating with the Barbs. It's crazy how that works. But yeah, Nicki Minaj's fans, they just know how to keep her name alive and keep her name trending, even without Nicki being active whatsoever. I mean, sounds like a good fan base to me. Shit. And reason number 6, some may not agree with this reason, but that's okay. I feel like as long as Cardi B is doing said numbers and stuff, people are always going to compare her to Nicki Minaj, and that's going to lead Nicki Minaj to respond back or throw some shade as a response if Cardi B says something about her. And Nicki just wants to dominate overall. So despite how people may feel about Cardi B is Nicki Minaj's biggest competition. But of course, Nicki Minaj is better overall as an artist when it comes to numbers, legacy, influence, etc., skill, and all that. But Cardi B does have a big fan base and also has industry support. So if Cardi B is doing certain tactics to boost her numbers and things like that, Nicki Minaj will call it out, and it's, gonna give Nicki Minaj some more ammo to spray and just push her and drive her more and stuff. So as long as Cardi B is still doing her thing, going viral, having some type of numbers on the board, Nicki Minaj ain't gonna retire. She's not gonna sit there and let that shit happen, because yeah, she don't like Cardi B whatsoever. And there's no need for me to talk about their history. You guys watching this should know by now. Yeah, they don't like each other. Like, come to think of it, I can see Cardi B retiring before Nicki Minaj. Like, that's crazy, because it took Cardi B almost 10 years to drop a sophomore album. Could you imagine like Cardi B with the 4th album? I don't even know when the 3rd is. We don't even know when the 3rd is coming out. So a 4th album, I don't know about that. I could see Cardi B retiring early, to be honest, because, well, come to think of it, she's dealing with that whole situation with Offset and the whole divorce stuff. That's a whole nother thing in itself. So some are saying that she needs the money. Like, I don't know. She just doesn't have the drive and passion that Nicki Minaj has to keep dropping albums and wanting to just be great overall. Not saying Cardi B doesn't check for her numbers, because Cardi B loves seeing numbers go high and loves when she breaks records. Despite what these artists say, they love when they break records. They look at their numbers no matter what artists say. But yeah, those are, I believe, 6 reasons why Nicki Minaj will not retire. And let me know what you guys think. Do you think there's more reasons why? Do you agree with the list? Let me know how you feel down below in the comments. And with all that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one.